Millionaire reveals devastating truth after finding childhood love selling lemonade at 3 a.m. The clock struck 3 as the moon shone bright, casting an eerie glow over the empty streets. In that stillness, whispers echoed a truth so shocking, it could shake the foundations of a man who had built an empire. There, in the shadows of the silver-streaked night, stood a figure, Parson Bell, the millionaire who had clawed his way to the top. What had compelled him to step outside his opulent mansion at such an outrageous hour? The answer lay in the quaint, flickering stand just down the block, where memories lurked like ghosts. A young woman, a vision from his past, was hawking lemonade at 3 in the morning. Her hair glimmered, a cascade of sunlit gold that stole breath from his chest, and her laughter danced lightly in the air, caught somewhere between nostalgia and the haunting chill of lost chances. How could she be here, selling lemonade, with a sign painted hastily in bright colors that read, "Sweet Relief"? The world had changed, but this moment felt like a portal in time. It twisted knots in his stomach, sending him spiraling back to a simpler era, where joy was sipped from paper cups on warm summer evenings. As he stepped closer, the thrill of recognition coursed through him like electricity. It was Anna Main, his childhood sweetheart, the girl who used to make his heart race. But something about the way she smiled, tinged with sadness, set off alarm bells. "What are you doing here?" he blurted out, the urgency palpable in his voice. Her eyes flickered from excitement to something shadowed before masking it with laughter that didn't quite reach her eyes, and that flickering light. Secrets hung heavy between them, loaded with unspoken words. Around them, the silence of the midnight street seemed to press in, thick and suffocating. Had time turned them into strangers? Or was there something deeper lurking beneath the surface, some revelation waiting to spill over like the lemonade she offered? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The air crackled with tension as they stood face to face, every breath heavy with unsaid things. Parson noticed the tremor in her hands as she poured lemonade, her fingers glistening with sweat. That simple act felt monumental, as if she were pouring the contents of her very soul into each cup. And then she faltered, her eyes flickering away as they lingered on the old neighborhood, memories stirring in the depths of their shared history. "I didn't expect to see you here, Parson," she murmured, breaking the spell. But what was she really hiding? What despair had led her to this lonely labor in the dead of night? Something deep inside drove him onward. This wasn't just a chance encounter. There was a storm brewing, and he could feel it pulling him in. The question echoed in his mind. What devastating truth lay beneath the surface of Anna's cheerful exterior? As he searched her eyes, prepared to dig deeper, the night thrummed with the promise of revelations, waiting just beyond their reach. Parson took a step closer, drawn to her like a moth to a flame. "Anna, talk to me. What's going on? You don't look well," he urged, his voice low yet insistent. It felt wrong to see her here, in this state, under the weight of shadows that only the night could cast. Anna's laughter faded, a hollow sound in the emptiness. Her eyes darted to the distant flicker of streetlights, as if searching for an escape. "I'm doing fine, really," she insisted, but the way her voice cracked betrayed her. "Fine? Selling lemonade at this hour? This isn't you." He stepped even closer, sensing the distance she'd maintained, almost as if a glass wall separated their worlds. "This isn't how I remember you." A bitter smile flickered on her lips, misplaced, full of sorrow. A lump formed in his throat. All memories tied to this vibrant girl who once lightened his day now felt tainted. "You wouldn't understand, Parson," she whispered, the tremor in her voice hitting too close to home. "Then help me understand." His heart raced, pounding with a mixture of fear and desperation. He was used to making deals, crafting plans, controlling every aspect of his empire. Yet he felt utterly powerless in front of Anna. For years he believed he had the world figured out, but now, it spiraled beyond him as the air thickened. The street remained silent, suspended in a haunting stillness. With all the wealth and power he commanded, with all the business advantages that brought him to the top, Parson realized he felt entirely vulnerable. "I can help you," he pressed, the sincerity rising like a tide. Her laughter rang again, but this time it was laced with bitterness. "Help? You think money can fix everything? There are things even you can't control, Parson." The challenge hung like a guillotine above him. Could he restore the bond they once shared? Or would he unravel the truth and break her further? "Try me," he said, the bravado slipping through cracks in his own facade. "What have you lost, Anna?" The tension in her eyes flared, fire igniting in the depths of despair. She turned abruptly, flinging the cup she clutched onto the ground. The glass shattered with a sharp cry, spilling lemonade across the pavement like some kind of offering to the universe. "You don't want to know, Parson. You don't want to see." He startled back, a knot tightening in his gut. "Then make me." The force of his words hung heavy, demanding a response. "I can't walk away not knowing, at least let me share the burden." With a shuddering breath, Anna glanced around, as if the darkness itself might swallow her fear. "Do you really mean that?" The vulnerability in her eyes pierced right through him, anchoring him in an emotion so raw it demanded action. "Yes," he breathed. "You're not alone in this." The clouds above shifted, a sudden chill weaving through the air as she met his gaze. Her eyes brimmed with unshed tears, and for a moment, he saw the girl he once loved, hiding beneath the weight of adulthood and regret. "Hey, but if I tell you, you might wish you hadn't," he asked. That was it. The moment teetered on a precipice, poised to plunge into chaos beneath the weight of buried truths. "I can handle it, Anna." But the shadows moved around them, restless as if the world refused to let this moment unfold without a fight. Suddenly, a rustling from the nearby bushes sent a jolt through both of them, yanking them from their fragile connection. Parson tensed, eyes darting toward the source of the sound. Was it just an animal? Or something more menacing? As the figure slipped into view, a gasp escaped Anna's lips. "Who is that?" she whispered, frozen in place. Parson's heart hammered. He had heard stories of strange occurrences in the neighborhood after dark tales he had dismissed until now. Whoever approached carried an air that crackled with tension. What lay at the end of this unfolding drama? His instincts screamed to protect Anna, to stand between her and whatever threat was encroaching. Truth could wait. Survival took precedence now. Just what dark twist awaited them next? Parsons' pulse raced as the figure emerged from the shadows. It was a man, tall and cloaked in darkness, his features obscured by the dim light. The sudden stillness around them was thick enough to slice, each breath feeling like an intrusion against the mounting tension. "Who are you?" Parson demanded, stepping forward, shielding Anna instinctively. He felt the weight of her fear beside him. Without a word, the man's eyes, glimmering like shards of glass, locked onto Anna. "You shouldn't be here, Anna," he warned, his voice low and gravelly. There was a familiarity to it, a jagged edge that made Parson's spine tingle with dread. "Stay away from her." Parson's shout cut through the chill of the night, reverberating against the walls of tension building between them. Approaching her, Anna's distress seeped into him like a dark stain. "You know him?" he asked her, fighting to maintain control while a storm brewed inside. "Please," her voice was a whisper, barely audible over the pounding of his heart. "Just go." Anger flared in him. "You need to tell me what's going on. Now." His words burst out like a clenched fist seeking release. But Anna only shook her head, torn between the simmering conflict happening before her and the turmoil locked within. The man stepped closer, unperturbed by Parsons' defiance, as if he had seen it all before. "Anna, it's not safe," he repeated, urgency coiling around the edges of his tone. "Safe from what?" Parson pressed, his frustration climbing as he sensed the gravity of her situation spiraling out of control. This didn't feel like a reunion or a simple misunderstanding. It felt like a hornet's nest ready to sting. A wry smile twisted on the man's lips, revealing nothing but darkness beneath. "You're still playing hero, huh, Parson?" he taunted, his voice dripping with contempt. "Do you even know what you're getting into?" "Enough," Parson barked. He couldn't let this man dictate the terms. There was a strange camaraderie in how they were both fighting for Anna, but one was fighting for salvation, while the other seemed intent on sinking her deeper into turmoil. "You think you can protect her?" the man scoffed, stepping back to lean against a nearby lamppost. His presence was suffocating as shadows swirled around him, contrasting starkly against the harsh light. Parson's mind raced as he searched for an angle, a chink in this stranger's armor. "Just tell us what you want," Parson growled. His throat felt tight, and every instinct told him trouble was closing in on them. For all his power, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on unsteady ground. "I want her to come home," the man said, his voice suddenly taking on a softer edge, almost pleading. "This isn't where she belongs." Parson's heart sank at the bluntness of his words. He glanced at Anna. A look of betrayal and fear crossed her face, sending a torrent of doubt crashing against his resolve. "Home," he echoed, the word clothed in confusion. "What home? What does he mean?" "It's too late for me," Anna murmured, her voice trembling as tears spilled over, illuminating the depths of her turmoil. Parson's chest tightened as he tried to grasp the enormity of her statement. What had happened that obliterated hope? Suddenly, the man straightened, tension snapping like a rubber band. "You don't understand, Parson. She's in deeper than you think. Things are changing. They're coming." "What the hell does that mean?" Parson snapped, his body coiled, ready for anything. The unease crept back like a tide, washing away any illusions of control. As Annie chimed in, her voice barely above a whisper, "I never wanted you to know." The ominous weight of her words lingered heavily in the air, igniting a flicker of horror in him. Whatever truth loomed above them, it threatened to unravel everything. "Tell me," he demanded, desperation thickening his voice. But before she could respond, the man's expression hardened, the moment clenching like a vice, trapping them all in a fervent web of uncertainty. As a distant sound of sirens pierced the night, Parson clenched his fists. Shapes were shifting in the shadows. It was just the beginning, and the question loomed: what were they about to uncover? Parson felt the sirens echoing through the streets, relentless and haunting. Each wail sent a jolt of urgency rippling through him. He turned to Anna, her face a canvas painted with turmoil and uncertainty. He had to keep her safe, but from who? The man in front of them? Or something far worse lurking in the dark? "Listen," he started, trying to keep his voice low, a calm anchor in the storm. "We can figure this out together." "Just together?" The man's laughter was bitter, ricocheting off the cold brick walls. "You really think you can save her? You're playing a game you don't even understand." He took a step forward, his shadow swallowing the light, his eyes fixated on Anna. She's a piece in a much larger puzzle. If you don't let her go, you'll lose everything. "Enough!" Parson shouted again, surprising himself with the force of his outburst. "What are you talking about? If you want her to come home, then tell us what home means." With a resigned sigh, the man's expression twisted into something bordering on sympathy. "Home is where she belongs, Parson. It's where none of this darkness can touch her." "Touch me?" Anna's voice quivered, raw and exposed. Parson could see her fighting against something deep within. "I can't just leave. I can't abandon everything." "Everything?" The man leaned closer, malice curling in his words. "You think you've built something here? You're in over your head and you don't even know it. They're not interested in you, Anna. They want the power you've been wielding without realizing it." "Power?" Parson's eyebrows knitted in confusion. Underneath Anna's calm exterior lay a well of secrets, brewing like a storm ready to burst. "What are you saying? What kind of power?" "I can't," Anna started, but the words faltered in her throat like a bird caught in a snare. The tension coiled tighter, cracking the fragile veils of silence surrounding them. Suddenly, the street lamps flickered ominously, casting ghostly shadows that danced around them. The atmosphere grew electric, and the pulsing sirens receded into a haunting quiet. He felt it then, a shift, a presence lurking in the periphery, settling into their moment of confrontation. "Time's running out," the man warned, his voice a whisper now, laced with the weight of urgency. "They're coming, and if you stay here you'll be caught in their crossfire." "Who?" Parson demanded. The ground beneath him felt like shifting sand, his hands twitching, urging him to act. Yet deep down he sensed that their biggest enemy lay within Anna herself. Whatever this power was, it had her tethered in ways unimaginable. A faint noise echoed from behind them, footsteps, hurried and heavy. Parson spun around, the dread flooding his senses. The world narrowed as shadows stretched ominously, the darkness alive with intent. "We have to move," he shouted, shoving Anna gently towards safety, while keeping his gaze locked on the man, whose demeanor shifted from alarm to something dangerous. "Run, Anna!" The words tore from him, fueled by instinct. She hesitated just a beat too long, eyes flicking back to the man shrouded in darkness. "And if you stay with him, you'll condemn yourself," he added, voice tight with foreboding. The path ahead, obscured by shadows, loomed larger than ever. Parsons' heart hammered in his chest, a relentless pulse echoing the terror that had enveloped them. But just as Parson urged Anna forward, the man stepped into their path, a barrier built from chaos. "You both need to understand. The truth will find you whether you're ready or not." With that cryptic message hanging in the air, the silence shattered by another wailing siren, Parson felt the ground shift beneath him. In that moment he knew everything was about to change. But would they be ready to face the darkness that loomed just beyond the shadows? As adrenaline coursed through his veins, he couldn't shake the sense that whatever awaited them wasn't merely around the corner. It was already here. What horrors were about to unfold? Parsons' heart raced as he pulled Anna closer, the icy grip of fear tightening around them. Shadows swirled, the faintest whispers echoing through the alley, and he fought the urge to look back. The man's words clung to him. "The truth will find you." It felt like a curse, heavy and tangled. "Come on, we need to go," Parson urged, his voice breaking the spell of tension. But Anna stood frozen, her eyes locked on the man. Something in her gaze shifted, an internal battle that raged like a wildfire. "Anna!" he shouted again, frustration clawing at his throat. Every second they lingered brought them closer to whatever dark fate awaited. "Parson, wait," she whispered, her voice trembling as if tiny shards of glass resided within. "Yes, not just anyone. He knows things I've tried to forget." A rush of footsteps hurried down the street, louder now, growing closer. Parsons' instincts screamed at him. He grasped her hand tightly, trying to pierce through her daze. "We can't stand here. We need answers, but not now." Without thinking, he pulled her towards the dark end of the alley, where the air felt thick with foreboding. As they moved into the shadows, the sirens returned, shriller this time, mixing with the quickening sounds of pursuit. Behind them the man remained, a specter among whispers, his expression betraying an eagerness that sent chills up Parsons' spine. "She won't run," the man called, his voice echoing against the brick like a death knell. "Not until she knows what she's capable of." "Just ignore him," Parson urged, but Anna's feet felt cemented to the ground, her breath hitching in hesitation. "Anna, please." Then in a heartbeat, she broke free from his grasp and turned toward the figure. "What do you know?" The demand shattered the air, fierce yet fragile. "You think you're safe?" the man replied, stepping closer, his features illuminated by a distant streetlight. "You're just scratching the surface. There's a reason they haven't found you yet. You're a beacon, a spark that can ignite a battle. You hold fire in a world that's running cold." Parson felt a jolt of disbelief surge through him. What was this twisted game? The anger burned in his chest. "We're not playing games. You need to tell us what you mean." The man's mouth twisted into a grin that sent a shudder through Parson. "You have no idea what's at stake. And soon you will. I can already see it in Anna's eyes. The pull of power is waking." "No," Anna shouted, her hands balled into fists as if to ward off an unseen monster. "You don't get to play with my life. You don't know me." But the truth cut deeper than mere words. Parson could feel Anna's fear mixing with something else, something dark awakening inside her. The streetlights flickered furiously, casting eerie shadows dancing wildly. Parson realized their time was running out. He glanced at Anna, desperation filling him. "We need to." A deafening crash interrupted him. The sound echoed through the night, sending shivers skittering up his spine. Parson turned to the main street just in time to see a black SUV screech to a halt, the engine roaring like a beast hungry for chaos. "Get back!" he yelled, pulling Anna to him as chaos erupted from the vehicle. Figures cloaked in dark clothing spilled out, urgency stamped on their faces. "Run!" Parsons' instinct kicked in, his survival mode screaming at him. They had to escape. But where? Anna faltered, her voice barely a whisper. "What if I can't control it?" He could see her mind racing. The the weight of her potential pressing down on her. "You have to trust me," he shouted, pulling her towards the alley's exit before the new danger could close in. With every step, he felt the pull of the night, the looming dread wrapping around their limbs. The world beyond the shadows was chaotic, full of unknowns. But inside him burned a flame of fierce determination to protect the one person he couldn't afford to lose. As they launched themselves into the open street, Parson caught a glimpse of the man standing there, watching with eyes that glimmered with knowing. "The truth is out there waiting for you both," he called, but the distance swallowed his voice. Parson shoved Anna ahead, adrenaline coursing through his veins. They couldn't look back now. Whatever lay ahead was their only hope, and with each footfall the anticipation escalated. But what awaited them in the heart of darkness? As Parson and Anna burst out onto the street, the chaos pulsed around them like a living thing. The SUV's doors flung open, and the dark figures moved swiftly, scanning the area like wolves in search of prey. Parson gripped Anna's hand tighter, consciously avoiding the sweep of shadows around them. "Where now?" Anna gasped, her eyes darting in every direction, searching for an escape. "Just keep running," Parson shouted, his voice barely rising above the roar of sirens and the heavy thud of their hearts. They sprinted down an alley that branched off the main street, the pavement slick with rain from earlier in the night. As they navigated the tight space, the walls pressed in like a vice. Parson felt the knot of fear tightening in his chest. Behind them the figures were relentless, moving with calculated precision. He could hear them yelling to each other, commands lost to the wind but laced with something dangerous. "A head start will only last so long," Anna panted, glancing back. "What does he mean? What power?" "I don't know," Parson replied, the truth weighing heavily on him. He struggled to keep the panic from spreading in his voice. "But we have to focus on getting out of here first." They emerged onto another street, their breaths visible in the chilly night air. Parson scanned the surroundings, searching for any sign of safety. The shadows seemed alive, stretching and contorting, threatening to consume them. Just then Anna froze again, her gaze pinning on something down the road. "Look!" Her voice trembled. In the distance, a figure emerged from the shadows. He was tall and cloaked in black, identical to the figures from the SUV but decidedly different. As he stepped into the dim light, an unsettling calm surrounded him, like an eye in the midst of a storm. "Anna, we need to go," Parson urged, sensing the danger in her transfixed stare. "It's him," she gasped, her expression shifting from fear to recognition. He was there the last time." Anna, focus," Parson interrupted, frustration boiling over. "We don't have time for this." But she took a step closer, her instincts pulling her towards the man. "Yes, not like the others. I can feel it." Parson hesitated, torn between his instincts to flee and the urgency to protect Anna's curiosity. "Do you really trust him?" "He knows about me," she insisted, her voice steadying with determination. "And I need to know what I'm facing." The man held his hands up, palms out. "I'm not here to hurt you, Anna." His voice was calm, devoid of the menace that shadowed the others. "I'm here to help you. What do you want?" Parson barked, stepping between Anna and the stranger, primal instinct kicking in. "Stay away from her." The man smirked, an almost amused glimmer in his eyes. "You don't understand, do you? There's potential here that can either save you or doom this city. Anna, you need to embrace it." Anna turned to Parson, her eyes wide, an internal war playing out on her features. "What if he's right? What if this is our only chance?" Parson clenched his fists. "What if it's a trap?" Desperation came crashing down like a tidal wave over his protective instincts. "You can't trust anyone but me." The man gestured slowly, stepping forward, his voice softening. "The choice is yours, Anna. Embrace your fire or run from it. But know this, you can't hide forever." Parson felt the ground shift beneath them, a sense of foreboding thickening the air. The sound of footsteps approached, closer now. Time was slipping through his fingers. "We have to go now." He grabbed Anna by the wrist, ready to drag her away, but Anna stood firm. "I can't keep running, Parson. I want to." "Why?" Parson felt his heart pound, every beat echoing panic. "Because you think this man holds the answers? You're playing with fire." Anna's eyes glimmered harder, her resolve apparent, like a wild spark about to explode. "Maybe I need to get burned." Parson's heart sank, understanding dawning like the first harsh light of morning. Each second stretched impossibly as he wrestled with the gravity of her choice. Before he could counter, the figures from the SUV emerged from the shadows, encircling them with predatory intent. The confrontation was imminent, the stakes rising dangerously. Where would Anna's choice lead them? With a single look between them, the silence crashed down, a moment suspended before the storm. What would break first, trust or fear? The air was thick with uncertainty, and in that moment they had to decide. Did the truth lie in flames or in the shadows looming closer? Parson's heart raced as the shadows moved closer, their intentions almost palpable. He wanted to scream, to shake Anna out of her trance, but the flame in her eyes held him captive. It was intoxicating yet terrifying to witness her emerging resolve. The wind howled, cutting through the alley, carrying the ominous whispers of the encroaching figures. "Stay back," Parson shouted, pushing Anna further behind him, muscles tense, prepared to fight. "I don't care what he says. We don't know him. Do you want to know the truth?" The cloaked man interrupted, a hint of amusement shimmering in his voice. He took another step forward, confidence radiating like heat from a fire. "This city is on the brink, and Anna holds the key to its salvation." Thunder rumbled overhead, a warning shot of nature echoing the turmoil woven through the streets. Parson felt the blood drain from his face. "What do you mean she holds the key?" The man's smile faded, replaced by an expression of seriousness that cut straight to Parson's core. "Her past is more powerful than she realizes. Anna, your fire has the potential to ignite or destroy. What do you want from me?" Anna stepped forward, her gaze flicking between the man and Parson, a flicker of fear tinged with curiosity. "Embrace it," he urged, his voice a smooth caress. "You have abilities, Anna. You can channel them, protect those you love. But first you must understand what you're capable of." Parson swallowed hard, anger bubbling up. "Abilities? What are you trying to say? This is insane. Is it insane to unlock your true self?" The stranger pressed, his stance unwavering amidst the tension mounting around them. "What they want from you isn't just power. It's control. They fear you because they know what you could become." Before Parson could respond, the encroaching dark figures surged forward, their silhouettes morphing into grotesque shapes in the dim light. Panic coursed through his veins. He glanced sharply at the man. "What the hell do we do now?" "Fight or flee," he said coolly, glancing at Anna with an intensity that could have melted steel. "But no, you can't ignore who you are. The fire will call to you." "Parson!" The cry tore through the chaos, loud and desperate. Anna was slipping away from his grasp, drawn toward the mysterious man. "No!" Parson shouted, reaching for her, but she was already too far, the space between them growing like a chasm. He felt every second stretch, time warping as he saw Anna's determination solidify. She nodded, almost imperceptibly, but it was enough. The moment hung in the air, thick with tension as the figures advanced, closing in on all sides. She was choosing. "Why are you doing this?" Parson's voice cracked, a raw plea against the tide of violence. "We're stronger together. You can't do this alone." "I'm terrified, Parson." Anna's voice broke, mirroring his anguish. "But maybe I have to try." The cloaked man's footsteps echoed behind her, a shadow weaving closer, his presence overwhelming. The dark figures took a collective breath, a tangible shift coursing through them, sensing the end of their wait. "Anna, stop!" Parson yelled, racing after her. But the unfolding momentum rendered him powerless. He was losing her. "Run!" she shouted back, her voice a force of nature, igniting something fierce within her. Her silhouette flickered like a flame in the wind, mesmerizing yet foreboding. All at once, Anna's hands burned with a fiery glow, lighting up the darkness that surrounded them. Gasps echoed from the figures, shock ringing in the cold air. Parson's breath hitched. This was a different kind of danger. "Anna!" he cried, torn between hope and fear as she embraced the fire within. In this moment the cloaked man said, almost serenely, "You'll either unleash chaos or awaken a new power." Parson braced himself for what came next, every instinct screaming to reach for Anna, to pull her back from the edge. He had to protect her, but this time they were standing at the crossroads. The figures lunged, their hunger palpable. Would Anna stand firm, Or would she succumb to the flames of the chaos she had unleashed? As the shadows clashed against the brilliant light, the harrowing truth coiled tightly around them, both a truth that had the power to change everything or end them. What would the next choice be? The battle for their lives had only begun. The world erupted in chaos as Anna's fiery glow collided with the dark figures. The light held a desperate beauty, illuminating the alley like a beacon, pushing the shadows back if only for a moment. Parson's chest tightened as he watched, every instinct urging him to intervene. It was too late. Anna was no longer the girl he had grown up with. She was becoming something more. Stay close. The cloaked man barked at Anna, extending his arms as if ready to guide her deeper into her new reality. The shadows halted, their grotesque forms momentarily daunted by the blaze of her power. Parson seized the fleeting chance to close the distance. Anna, he shouted desperately. You have to fight this. Don't let them control you. She turned slightly, her fiery eyes sparkling with uncertainty and strength. I can't let them win this time, Parson. The determination in her voice pierced through the noise, but it lacked the warmth he desperately sought. A growl erupted from the shadows, a spine-chilling sound that sent a shiver racing down Parson's spine. They lunged again, more ferocious now, intoxicated by Anna's light and eager for destruction. Embrace your fire, Anna. Use it, the cloaked man urged, though Parson caught the glint of fear in his eyes. This was a gamble, one that could backfire spectacularly. I'm scared, Anna cried, the flames sputtering like a dying ember as doubt crept in, threatening to extinguish her resolve. Parson's heart ached. Just remember who you are, he implored, memories flooding back their childhood. The nights spent dreaming of a future, laughter filling the air. You are not alone. As if responding to his words, Anna raised her hands higher, flames erupting into a dazzling inferno that painted the alley in vibrant hues. The force knocked back the advancing figures, their frustrated wails reverberating off the walls, but the cloaked man grinned, a subtle tilt of his head that made Parson uneasy. Good, now show them what you can do. Anna, Parson shouted again, but now his voice felt small against the crackling energy surrounding her. Please, this isn't just about power. This is about control. Control? Anna snapped, her voice fierce and filled with the urgency of the moment. You don't get it. If they want me to bend, I'll break them first. In a heartbeat, the shadows regrouped, attacking with wild ferocity, their dark forms weaving around the glow of her flames like a twisted dance. Parson lunged forward instinctively, attempting to reach Anna. No, this isn't how it ends. Suddenly, Anna's fire flared and twisted, forming a shield between her and the shadows. The cloaked man stepped back, eyes wide with surprise. Remarkable, he whispered, awe mingling with respect. But the shadows were relentless, slashing at the barrier with ID-driven rage. Each strike sent tremors through Parson's heart as he saw Anna's forces wavering, her grip faltering. Anna, he cried, pushing against the barrier. Don't let them win. You're stronger than this. The air crackled, thick with the scent of smoke and burning ozone. For a fleeting second it felt as if time stood still, the night holding its breath. The shadows hesitated, sensing both Anna's burgeoning strength and Parson's fierce dedication. Focus. Channel it. The cloaked man commanded, urgency creeping into his tone. You can shift the tide, but only if you believe in yourself. Parson felt adrenaline surge through him. Anna, trust your fire. But don't let it take you. Remember who we are. Her eyes flickered, a war of emotions playing across her face. Would she respond to his call for unity? Or would she slip deeper into the chaos? In a moment of stark clarity, Anna lifted her chin, the fire reflecting in her gaze. Parson breathed in hope. It was a turning point, an instant poised on the edge of everything. But before she could react, the shadows lunged once more, their claws reaching for her, hungry for despair. Anna! Parson reached out, but the energy between them felt like glass, fragile and thin. Would she break free from the grip of fear? Or would she surrender to it? Parson braced for the worst, knowing that Anna's fire could save them all or consume them. The flickering light clashed with darkness, and the real fight was just beginning. What other truths would emerge in this battle? The shadows surged forward, their twisted forms slicing through the crackling air. Parson's heart raced as he felt the threat closing in, the palpable darkness stark against Anna's glowing shield. It pulsed around her, a refuge that flickered uncertainly as the shadows clawed at its edges. "Fight back, Anna," he shouted, desperation edging his voice. "Don't let that fear turn into fire that burns you down." She hesitated, brow furrowed, fire dancing wildly as uncertainty flickered in her eyes. But it was a moment too long. A shadow, larger and darker than the others, lunged forward, its form blurring with a terrifying speed. Parsons' blood ran cold as he reached out, as if he could physically pull her away from the danger. No. In an instant, the dark figure slipped past the shimmering barrier. It snatched Anna's arm in its vice-like grip, the shadows swarming her in an instant. Anna gasped. Flame sputtering like a flickering candle caught in a gust of wind. Parsons' chest tightened. He wouldn't let this happen. Summoning every bit of courage, he surged toward them, drawing on every ounce of his connection to Anna. The air crackled, and before he realized it, he was shouting not just at Anna but at the shadows themselves. "Leave her alone." Suddenly, the cloaked man stepped beside him, an urgency in his eyes that he hadn't shown before. "Step back. You're not ready for this." "Anna!" He screamed again, panic and fear rising like bile in his throat. It was a dizzying spiral. "You're not alone. Remember me." Anna's fiery shield weakened as the shadow continued to pull at her, its claws deepening into her skin, tearing through her glow, creating a siphon that began stealing her light. In that moment of despair, a flicker of recognition crossed her face. "Parson," her voice was strained, barely a whisper, but there was a flicker of warmth, the memory of their bond pushing through the chaos. And then it happened. The glow around her flared, a surge of light exploding outward as if fueled by both love and desperation. The flames danced high, engulfing the shadow with blistering intensity. The darkness recoiled, screeching in anguish. For a brief moment everything was bright, overwhelming, an orange sun engulfing the alley with warmth. Parson shielded his eyes, feeling the heat wash over him, invigorating, reminding him of summer afternoons spent dreaming. But the respite was fleeting. The cloaked man suddenly grabbed Parsons' arm, yanking him back as shadows surged again, relentless and more furious. "We need to go. Now." "Go?" "But Anna, she's fighting. We need to regroup." His voice was sharp, a reality check ringing through the chaos of Parsons' growing panic. Anna's cries rang through the air, fiery yet laced with fear, but those shadows clung tight, clawing at her dwindling fire. Her light flickered again, threatening to fade. Parson felt his heart drop into a pit of despair. The shadows gained ground, encircling Anna. They were swarming her like a pack, whispering with promises of despair, of solace in surrender. The cloaked man was tugging at Parson now, but he refused to budge. "I want to leave her. Parson." The urgency in the cloaked man's voice was real. "Trust her, she can do this. But we have to give her space." An anguished scream broke the air. Anna's voice, splintering through the din. Parsons' resolve fought against the instinct to flee. "No. I can't abandon her." For a heartbeat the world felt frozen. The shadows lurked, gnashing their teeth. The cloaked man's grip remained steadfast, but Parson was tormented by the image of Anna enveloped in shadow. Would she be able to muster that final strength? Would her fire burn bright enough to shatter the darkness? "Listen to me, Parson," the cloaked man snapped, locking eyes with him. "You don't know what these shadows are capable of, not yet." A flash of doubt crossed Parsons' mind, but it was quickly overshadowed by the desperation to save Anna, the girl who had once lit up his world with laughter. But even now he could feel the stakes rising. As Anna still struggled, a single thought smoldered in Parsons' mind: what was truly at risk? And then something shifted in the air. Suddenly, without warning, the shadows surged with renewed strength, their cries blending into a horrifying chorus that echoed down the alley. Parson knew then that the true battle was yet to come, and he was running out of time. But just what did the cloaked man truly know about Anna's powers and about the shadows vying for her soul? The answers lay deeper than any of them could have imagined. The darkness clung tightly around them, pressing in like a fist. Parsons' mind raced, each beat echoing with the urgency of the moment. He had to fight for Anna, but the swirling chaos and shadows threatened to swallow them both whole. As he wrestled against the forces around them, the flicker of hope still glimmered in Anna's fiery eyes. "Anna!" he shouted again, struggling against the hold of the cloaked man who was desperately attempting to pull him back. You can break free. Remember who you are. Just then, Anna's figure glowed bright, warmth swelling within her. Her fire, it was radiant, fierce, and absolutely alive. I will not be controlled, she screamed, and the golden blaze exploded outward from her, shattering the shadows momentarily. Parson stood in awe, pride swelling in his chest. The air turned electric as Anna conjured flames with a force he had never seen before. They curled around her, dancing against the shadows like two ancient rivals. It was as if she had finally grasped the power within her, igniting the remnants of their shared childhood memories and dreams. You don't own me, Anna roared at the encroaching dark, the ground vibrating with her defiance. Still the shadows regrouped, their forms coiling menacingly, their grotesque whispers slithering through the tension. Parson could feel the sinister intent behind them, their desire to smother her brilliance, to extinguish the flame she had reluctantly embraced. Run! Parson shouted, breaking free of the man's hold and taking a step toward Anna, though he was terrified of the shadows closing in. I won't let them take you. Don't you see? Anna's voice trembled but remained strong. I have to face them, I have to be the fire they can't control. She spoke with a clarity that cut through the hysteria surrounding them. The cloaked man shuffled closer, urgency painting his features. Anna, you need to understand you are a beacon. But that light comes with consequences. The truth hung like a guillotine, heavy and undeniable. Parson felt his heart race. What exactly do you know about my past, about how I can control this? Embrace it, the cloaked man replied, stepping back, eyes filled with understanding and unease. But be ready for the consequences. The shadows know your power and will do everything to snuff it out. Parson felt a chill creep down his spine, the gravity of their situation piercing through. Anna's eyes flickered with determination. Then let us show them what I can do. With renewed purpose, she raised her arms high, the flames surging around her. The shadows hesitated, a moment of uncertainty washing over them. Now Anna, Parson urged, adrenaline coursing through his veins. She unleashed everything. Fire erupted from her core, shining bright enough to illuminate even the darkest corners. The shadows recoiled, shrieking against the blinding light. Parson watched, jaw agape, as hope and fear collided and exploded in a spectacle of color. The flames tore through the dark, dissolving it, turning chaos into harmony. But the battle wasn't over. The shadows writhed, retreating only momentarily, regrouping in a vicious dance around her, eager to reclaim what she had wrested away. The cloaked man's voice rang out, urgent, guiding. Don't falter. You have the strength. Don't let them take it from you. Anna's flames flickered defiantly, yet he could see the fatigue creeping into her gaze. Parson couldn't bear it. You've got this, Anna. We're right here together. Just as she faltered, Parson reached for her hand, intertwining his fingers with hers. Together they stood against the shadows, united. Don't let them win. Use our memories. His words connected their lives, a tapestry woven from laughter, joy, and youthful dreams. Suddenly the shadows surged forward again, desperate and determined, claws outstretched. Now, Parson shouted, channeling all the hopes they'd ever shared. Anna pushed forward, channeling her fire, merging it with Parson's fierce love. Together they fueled the light. It surged radiant and pure, bursting forth in a blinding explosion. The shadows wailed, unable to withstand the force of their unity. As the blinding flames washed over them, Parson felt the darkness disintegrate, melting away into nothingness. The echoes of screams faded, collapsing under the weight of the light. When the brilliance finally dimmed, Parson blinked into the new reality. Around him lay a landscape transformed, the dim alley vibrant with life, the moon casting a serene glow. The pressure and weight that had burdened them were gone. He turned to Anna, whose eyes sparkled like molten gold. We did it, his voice was a reverent whisper. She nodded slowly, disbelief dancing on her features. I guess I really am more than I thought. The cloaked man approached, a smile breaking across his face. You embraced your power when it mattered most. But remember, there will always be darkness to confront. A lump formed in Parson's throat. We'll face it. Together. With a newfound clarity, Anna took a deep breath, her confident grin radiating warmth. No more shadows can take over. And as she said those words, Parson knew this was their promise. They might face challenges in the future, but they would always have the fire to guide them. Parson pulled Anna into an embrace, feeling the beating warmth of her heart and the spark that had ignited between them. "Let us go home," he said softly. Together, they stepped into the light of dawn, leaving the remnants of the night and shadows behind. Now it's time to continue this journey. This is the moment to show your support. If you want to be part of our next story, you need to subscribe now and don't miss the exclusive content coming soon. Smash that like button. This is how you feed the algorithm. Flood the comments section below with your thoughts about this ending, your theories, and what you think is next for Anna and Parson. And for the love of storytelling, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Don't wait even one more second. Your support means everything.